Can we be weird? Let's be weird. I'm gonna be weird. I'm just a girl, and this is my favorite everything. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of My Favorite Everything. I'm your host, Molly Holmes. Today we're going to be talking about my favorite horror movies because I think they're so fun. Now, I went through a time in my life, right around the time I was pregnant, to probably 4 years postpartum, where I could not watch horror. I was too sensitive, like not in a disparaging way, like I literally could not handle it. So much of horror is based on death and loss, and I was just like, no. Like I can't see any of that. I can't be aware of any of that. Like my intrusive thoughts are already so beyond what I can like contain and deal with. So I went off horror for a while. I'm back on it. And man, am I excited. So today I have a list of 10 movies I really like. I don't know if I have like favorite horror movies because usually I just kind of watch them once and I'm like, that was really fun. I liked that. There are some movies that I really like. Then I'm going to do the fucking worst horror movies I've ever seen because so many of them, they just make me angry. Okay? And I don't have time for that. Okay, so we're going to do the best, the worst, and some honorable mentions from like the past year. All right? So get excited. There will be spoilers too. If you don't want these movies spoiled, I will obviously announce the title before I start spoiling them. You can just skip forward or don't fucking listen to this. All right? So these are in no particular order, although actually, no, hold on, wait. I do want to start with one that is technically a scary movie. It does have some parts where you're like, oh, but oh my God, this movie is not good. And I love it. Now, this is a movie I've seen multiple times. So fun. I've made other people watch it. And it's just one of those that my husband and I are like, let's put it on. Okay, it's called The Boy. Katie Holmes is the lead actress, right? Who's seen her in anything in the last 25 years? So that's fun. This came out in maybe, I don't know, I want to say 2019. I could be way off. I'm guessing. I'm not doing my research for this. I don't care. Okay, look it up. Long story short, she and her son, maybe a husband, I don't know, I don't care, move into this old ass house, right? It's beautiful, but it's like creepy. Duh. They're kind of out in the country. Duh. They're like a little bit isolated. Hello. So the little boy moves in and there's this doll, but it's like a no, is it? I have seen this movie several times, to be clear. Now I'm getting all my movies mixed up because I did watch some Robert the Doll movies that were some of the worst trash I've ever seen, but I still kind of liked them. And that was, no, he wasn't an ventriloquist puppet in that either. And now I'm getting itchy. Okay, I'm fine. I'm going to take a breath. It's a doll. It's a creepy doll. It's not a ventriloquist dummy. It's coming back to me now. Okay? Guys. So, a doll. Creepy doll, right? The little boy's like, oh, he's talking to me. Oh, things are being moved, in the house. There's maybe scuttling and scurrying we're hearing. Bizarre things are happening, right? The tone is set. It's dark. It's disturbing. The mom's like, what the fuck? Guys, the spoiler alert is that there is a fucking man living in the walls that was his doll. And the doll's name is Brahms, which is like the most aggravating name I've ever heard. Anyways, yeah, this fucking guy comes bursting out of the walls one night, and it is scary. It's effective. And it's so bizarre. Like, you think it is a haunted doll movie, and this grown-ass man bursts through the drywall, and you're just, like, screaming. Like, it's unbelievable. And it's not done well. The dialogue sucks. The acting's not great, but it's really fun. Okay? Love that movie. It is not my favorite, but I do really love The Boy. God bless Brahms. Love him. Okay? Now we're going to go. Okay, this is an actual scary movie. I actually don't really want to watch it again. Okay? Because it really gave me the creeps and I did not like that. Maybe if I watched it again, who knows? Maybe I was in a weird mood. I haven't watched it since, but it was effective. Okay? It's the Autopsy of Jane Doe. To me, this is a super underrated horror movie. I just feel like it doesn't come up a lot. So maybe I'm wrong. If I am, I don't want to hear it. Thank you. So it is basically about this father and son who run a funeral home. The son's kind of like, oh my God, whatever. Like, I don't really like doing this, Dad. The storm's coming. They get this Jane Doe who comes in and she's like all fucked up, right? And they're like, oh, geez, the dad's like, listen, you go ahead, go on your date. Like, I'll deal with this. He's like, no, Dad, like, I don't want to, like, I don't want to leave you here to like deal with those shit, whatever. I'll help. So as the night goes on, they're kind of locked in there because there's like tornado warnings. They're down in the basement of this morgue. I feel like the tension really builds and you're very much like, what is happening? And so they're like, undressing the girl and they're going over her body and they're finding all these like sigils and like marks and like runic writings, if I'm remembering correctly. And they're like, oh my God. And like, so throughout the whole movie, you're like, oh my God, this girl's like sacrificed and she was like tortured and like, oh my God, like that gut wrenching, like a victim, like a victim of something horrendous. But then you realize that all those sigils and stuff are to keep her witchy ass in check because she's like, of course you can't have a movie about a witch who just like makes tea and tinctures and like is good to her neighbors. No, of course she's got to be like satanic and demonic, which I hate. And yet there are so many movies like Hocus Pocus that I just like love and they're so fun, but it makes me mad as someone who sort of identifies as a witch. Like, I don't really love labels. I don't ever want to have my identity be like, I'm this thing. Like, I'm not, but I'm really witchy and I like that about me. And it's not that. There's no like spell casting and like evil things. And there's definitely no Satan in like any of it. And throughout history, that's not really been what witches are. A lot of times they're medicine women and midwives and that's it. That's me, babe. So anyways, Autopsy of Jane Doe, it gets fucking scary and freaky and it's very cool. And I think it's underrated to me. Moving on. Another one that I feel like is underrated. Guys, it's 13 Ghosts. Hello. If you've never seen it, Tony Shalhoub is in it. He's the dad. And who's that guy? Matthew Lillard. I was like, he was in Scooby-Doo. Like, definitely not his role that most people would think about, but to me, he's Shaggy. All right? So anyways, some hot girl. She was in American Pie. She's also in it. I can't think of anyone else. It doesn't matter. Guys, this movie is extremely cool. And I love it. And some people, I feel like I heard someone say like, oh, that movie sucks ass. Like, it's like hokey and what? No, it's not. You're wrong. Okay, and yes, I saw it at a formative time in my life when I was a teenager and I was maybe more impressionable. I don't care. Because when I watched it as an adult, I'm still like, oh, again, practical effects on, I mean, they're not CGI, are they? Guys, I don't care. They looked really good. So if it was CGI, fine. All right, I'll admit when I'm wrong. But I don't think most of it was CGI. There's these 13 fucking ghosts trapped in this goddamn house. All right, that's the gist of the movie. And this family who moves in, of course, doesn't know. But the cool thing about this is that they're not moving into this old, house that was built in the late 1800s. And it's got these beautiful wood banisters and old oriental carpets. And like, do you know what I mean? It's not that. They move into this crazy ass house built by this like crazy ass inventor that they're related to loosely. So there's like, all these cool clear glass rooms. There's like kind of normalish rooms. And then there's like this huge mechanism in the center of the house that like shuts doors. And then of course, as you go through the house and go through the different layers, you realize that all these things are in place to keep all these ghosts in. And the 13 ghosts are like powering this machine that of course is supposed to, I don't know, fuck with time or whatever. I wasn't really paying attention to that part. What you need to pay attention to is how freaky the fucking ghosts are. They're fucking scary. Like, they're scary. And I really like that movie. And hey, Tony Shalhoub, if I could kiss you on the forehead, I would. I enjoy him. So check out 13 Ghosts if you haven't, because I feel like a lot of people haven't. And I really like it. So there. We're going to move on to a better known one. There's not like too many that are I say that I'm looking at my list. Most of the people have heard of these. What am I saying? It's Terrifier 2. I liked the first one. I like the concept of the villain like not speaking. I feel like you see that in Halloween with Mike Myers, but mostly the villains have a lot to say. And so to me, it's much scarier when they're not talking. And clowns, to me, they're like I love dolls, clowns. I think they're funny. And I think part of the reason why I think they're funny is because so many people are scared of them that then they inherently become funny to me. I don't know why. Probably because I'm not frightened. So anyways, that's just kind of my 2 cents. The clown part is not that scary to me, although I feel like his face paints and his teeth and stuff are very effective. He's very unsettling. Really like the first one. The second one, and I haven't seen the third one, but my husband said I would really like it. The second one, the kills are so gory. I mean, they're so over the top. They're nuts. And I'm not someone that likes torture porn. Like, don't ever show me Hostel ever again. I watched part of that and I was like, no. I don't like torture porn. I don't like it. I don't think it does anything. I think Eli Roth is perverted and that's how he gets off and he makes these movies and that's his own thing. Okay. So that's just my opinion. When men are making, specifically men, which they usually are, men are making these movies, it's because they want to do that to women. Okay. Now, Terrifier 2. I don't know if that guy's problematic, the guy who made it, but that's not what I'm getting from these movies. It's not torture porn because it's so obvious that it is not real. Like, it is, the whole premise of the movie is not really real. It has this retro 80s vibe. Like, there's a lot of fantasy elements. So you're not like in it like you are in like a Hostel or even like in a Saw. Okay. It's fantastical, but these kills are crazy. I mean, truly. And like you're watching it and it's like there's just chunks of flesh. It's like that quote from Major Payne, which, hey, I should have included that in one of my favorite movies because I actually love Major Payne. Anyways, we're getting off topic. He says, he's describing a train accident to a 5-year-old, and he said there's blood and spit and ass everywhere. So in this movie, there's like blood and spit and ass just flying. And I love that because it's fun in this context. Okay? So that movie is fun. I liked it. Now, we already talked about Weapons. Guys, if you haven't fucking seen Weapons, go see it. Jesus, there's not much else I can say. It's amazing. I loved it. I just talked to my husband's sister today and she was like, I fucking hated it. And I was like, get out of the car. Pull over and let her ass out. But we didn't. We did bring her home. But I said, this is driving a wedge between you and our family. And I hope you know that. Okay? So, real quick, Weapons. I thought the villain was amazing. I loved, some of the jump scares were so scary. I love the what the fuckness, like you're trying to figure out what's going on the whole time. The resolution is very funny. And I just really liked it, guys. It was fucking great. Now, another big movie that like had a big release, lots of talk about it. You know, I'm not one to be like, oh, I don't like it because it's popular. But a lot of times when something's really popular, I'm like, I hope I don't like it because then I'm special. Okay, but I'm not. The Substance. Hello. So I really liked this. I might say I loved it. And I especially loved that fucking ending. My husband hated the ending. He was like, God, that ruined the movie. And I was like, actually, it took me from really liking this to loving it. When a movie goes so far off the rails, I'm all in. I'm sold. I love it. Like, when a movie goes into berserker mode at the end, I'm like, yes, this is what I needed. It makes me feel alive. So The Substance, very briefly, great performances by Margaret Qualley. Is that her name? Margaret? Whatever her name is. The other lady, Demi Moore, right? She's real good in it. Fucking not Randy Quaid. Who am I thinking of? Dennis Quaid? Yes. He was gross in it and I hated him. And I liked the weird fisheye lens. I liked the grossness of just even the little moments of him like eating Randy Quaid, the Quaid man, eating the shrimp and stuff. And he's just like gross. He's like clearly a pervert and a bastard man. And I really like the little moments of gross out stuff, and then the body horror was awesome because that doesn't really bother me. And again, not a torture movie. There's two women like fighting over essentially one carcass between them, having to sew themselves in and out and jump in and out. And then towards the end of the movie, Margot Qualley, whatever her name may be, she, becomes grotesque. She becomes, what did they call her? Elisa Shue or something? She, anyways, is like so completely deformed. I mean, to beyond. Like, if you were taking a bath at Chernobyl, that's it. That's you now. So, anyways, and then she just like it explodes. It's awesome. Hey, I loved it. I really did love it. Yeah, the performances were great, but like the absolute, just incredible. Again, I don't know how to describe it other than berserker mode at the end of the movie really sold it for me. It was great. I loved it. Okay. Another actual scary movie to me is Insidious. Only the first one. You don't really need to be watching the other ones. Okay. Insidious is good. Guys, it's good. Okay. It's really good. And don't ever get it confused because Patrick Dempsey, what's his name? Patrick someone? The main guy, the father man, he is in those shit ass movies about the doll, which you would think a movie about a doll I would love. I would if it was done well. Annabelle, all of those movies sucked ass. The Conjuring sucked ass. Sucked ass. Okay? However, Insidious is so good. It's great. There are some genuine, scary fucking moments. Really like creepy shots. You have this dread for this little boy who's astral projecting and he's going through it like he's really struggling. And his daddy's looking for him and you don't know if he's going to find him. And hold on. The lady who's in it, she's also scary as shit. I don't remember her name either. Guys, that movie's scary to me and I think it's great. So I don't remember anyone who was in it, obviously. Not their fault, that's mine. But check out Insidious. That's another one where I don't know if it's underrated, but I feel like it doesn't come up as much as I would think because it has stuck with me. It's not terrifying, but it is a good, solid, scary movie. The premise is interesting. It's not the same old shit. It's great. There's not a lot of movies about astral projection and what can happen. Okay? Love it. Okay, now this one might be controversial. Okay, so my husband and I keep bringing up because he and I have bonded over horror movies since we met. We've been together for 11 years. It'll be 11 years this year. And that was one of the first things that we really got into with each other. And we used to actually go to this great horror festival in Telluride, in Colorado, which is way, way up in the mountains. I mean, stunning, gorgeous, tiny little mountain town that holds movie festivals and concerts, and there's skiing. But that's kind of it. That's all they do. Super cool place. And yeah, you get 3 days of just horror movies. And a lot of them haven't been released yet, which is very cool. You get these big blocks, 3-hour blocks of comedy horror, summer adventure horror, so it's broken down into these little subgenres. I always love the animated ones. So fun. And the comedy horror, some of them were so funny. Anyways, we can't do that anymore because we have a child and it's just driving 8 hours is a lot. So anyways, we've put that on pause and I do miss it, but we really love that. And, so he and I do have differing opinions on a lot of the movies that we watch, although we tend to have more overlap on what we like than not, but this is a big one that we differ on. And maybe it's because I watched it when I was 13. I was so impressionable. House of a Thousand Corpses scared the shit out of me. I felt yuck and gross and just scared and uneasy. And then when it takes the weird supernatural twist of Dr. Satan in the underground, I was like, what? So my husband thinks that movie is absolutely wretched and he fucking hates it. Okay? He's wrong. But I will forgive him because he knows not what he do, or however that saying goes. Anyways, he's wrong and I'm right. That movie's scary and cool and fun. I feel like it was the first horror movie I saw that incorporated, like, there's a killing scene where they're playing Brick House in the background, and I was like, this is groundbreaking stuff. Guys, holy shit. And I still, when I hear Brick House, I do think of House of a Thousand Corpses. Again, I like that it went off the rails, and there's like this underground Dr. Satan. He's like, oh, half man, half beast. Like, I don't really know. I haven't seen it in a while. You know, the guy who plays the clown, gross. The guy who plays Otis, gross. The guy who plays the grandpa, fucking gross. Like, all perverted, disgusto men, which I feel like I'd have way more of a problem with now because, like, there's so much of that going on in the real world. I feel like I'd be like, actually, I can't watch this because yuck. But when it first came out, I was like, oh my God, because it's so, like, fantastical in that way. It's not a real threat. Okay? Now, I will say this. I love Rob Zombie's music. And I like this movie. I hate all of his everything else he's ever made. Okay, and I'm respectfully Rob Zombie. I don't think that I don't like any of it. So I'm just gonna put that out there for everyone. This doesn't need to get back to Rob Zombie. He's probably, he's worked hard. I just don't. I loved this movie so much that when The Devil's Rejects came out, I was so excited. That movie's ass. That movie's ass, and I hated it. And it's funny because, like, my husband really liked the second one, but hated the first one. So, man, that's been tough for us. But we have kind of made our way through, and we are okay. Thank you guys for asking. Now, The Wailing. I was like, I'm going to have to look this up before I come on here. I didn't. That movie was fucking good. I don't really remember anything that went on. Trying to, like, scrape at the recesses in my brain. Like, SpongeBob's in there, and he's trying to go through the file cabinets. What I can remember is there's this man cop who's maybe looking for his dead son or something, or maybe he's trying to solve these murders. Anyways, there are these great supernatural elements, and I feel like it culminates with finding this hut from a child predator, a pedophile in the woods who was taking these kids. But dude, the cinematography's stunning. The dread that builds is stunning. Suspense is just intense. And it was really well done. Like, I can't remember a thing about it because I haven't seen it in probably 6-7 years. Listen, once you have a child, your brain turns to applesauce. You just have a whole skull full of applesauce. And I refuse to medicate myself for ADHD. That's my own thing. So a lot of this podcast is going to be me not remembering names and guessing. Take it or leave it, okay? So watch The Wailing. I mean, that really is good. I'm pretty sure it's subtitles. You need to move past that because it is worth it, okay? I don't remember much about the movie, but I remember logging it away as, this is a fucking good movie. We're kind of wrapping up. I think we're at 10. So the guy who did Weapons, I always want to call him Zach Baggins. Not him. Zach Baggins is a fucking ghost hunter. Okay? Zach something. Made Weapons. Bless him. His other movie is Barbarian. Guys, I feel like a lot of people were talking about that for a while. I didn't see it. I watched it after Weapons, and I was like kind of disappointed because Weapons really, whatever it was about that movie really moved me in like a way that I really liked it. So Barbarian, I was just kind of like, oh, whatever. But as I've had time to reflect on it, that movie's fucking nuts. Okay, like, it's great. It's wackadoo time when you watch Barbarian. It is it's kind of gross. The concept is off the fucking walls. The villain is bonkers. There's kind of two of them. One of the villains is kind of a victim. And then there's, of course, a gross, perverted old man. Does anyone see a theme in every horror movie? Like, the villain is always a perverted man. A white man. So, guys, what are we doing? Anyways, Barbarian is fun. It is, like, freaky. It is weird. A little gross. And, yeah, I did have a good time. I really do. And I'm going to have to watch it again soon because I really feel like I wasn't in the right headspace to watch it. But I could remember like almost all of that movie, guys, and it was great. Okay. Now, an honorable mention is going to be The Keepers. It's either The Keepers or The Keeper 2025 because there's a shitload of movies with The Keeper or The Keepers or Keeper in the title. And this movie, my husband did not like it. Too bad for him. I liked it. You kind of are like, I don't really know what's going on, but the visuals are crazy. Like they're really good, scary costume, makeup. It's really cool. Like the concept was okay. I wasn't like wowed by it, but I did really like how these entities in the movie looked, which to me is worth like 1,000 points. Like your dialogue can be crap. I don't have to care about the main characters. I want the movie to be beautiful, beautifully shot, and I want the effects to be cool as fuck. All right, you'll win me over with that. So if anyone out there is thinking about getting into making horror, focus on that, okay? It's coming from me, an expert. Now we're going to get into the fucking worst horror movies I've seen that I can remember in recent memory. And honest to God, I'll probably make another episode about the worst fucking movies I've ever seen. Because I'm a movie girl and I've seen so many. These are just my short list. And these are just ones that I've seen recently in the past year. We're going to start out. I'm already upset. Okay. And this is going to maybe turn a lot of people off and be like, well, whatever. She doesn't know what she's talking about. No, you're just wrong. Guys, Longlegs, the Nicolas Cage movie, was ass. Okay? It was ass. And I think the big part that, because I love Nicolas Cage, I was so excited for this. And like the way he looks in that movie is so scary and effective. Like I didn't really find it funny. I was like, this is gross. So that was like 10 points immediately, right after, maybe 100 points right off the bat. I was like, yeah. And it's Nicolas Cage. So I was like, yeah, duh. But oh my fucking God, people were like, this is the next 7, which that probably should have made my list. But honestly, that movie really scares me and upsets me with Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt. That movie, and Gwyneth Paltrow, that movie's a fucking good movie. 7 is maybe one of the best horror movies of all time, guys. And people are saying, oh, Longlegs is the next 7. Holy shit. I mean, I was seeing red. Who's saying that? They should be put in prison. It's not that. It's not anything special at all, other than the fact that Nicolas Cage looks scary as shit. Okay, but what got me really upset was like they could have done so much. Again, the premise is okay, whatever. Visually, he's very scary. And of course, he's a fucking pedophile. What else is new, guys? White man pedophile, hello. And that's scary. But then they bring Satanism into it, which if you know anything about Satanism, it's not worship of the devil and it's not a religion where people hurt each other. It's like their whole ethos is do what you want, do what thou wilt, without, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else. It's a very hedonistic, sort of self-focused religion, but it's like do no harm. Okay? So that's Satanism, you fucking idiots. You just learned something today, didn't you? I'm proud of you. So anyways, Longlegs is so heavy-handed with the Satanism. It drives me crazy. Not just because it's wrong, it's just wrong, but because it's the less you see, the scarier it is. I feel like we should have seen him a little bit less. He should have not been talking at all, because screaming, singing in the car, that was okay. But like him monologuing and explaining things and like being a simp for this fucking lady, like it was just like, ew, he's a cuck. I don't like him. I'm not scared of him anymore. I just want to kill him. Okay? And then when he's just like, hail Satan, yeah, whatever. It's just like, oh my God, that's so boring. Like there are a million movies about devil worship and Satan and whatever. And like you could have done something really cool. You had Nicolas Cage at your disposal, who I know is down for any and everything you could have thrown at him. And guys, that really pissed me off. But I think the thing that pissed me off the most was people making it seem like it was the greatest horror movie they'd ever seen. And I was just like, what the fuck? Okay? So, starting strong with long legs sucking ass, all right? Moving on. Another movie that sucked ass so hard I can barely talk about it. Okay. I always am looking for like, what are like kind of weird, bizarre. I like bizarre horror. I don't really like a traditional slasher. I don't like any of that stuff. I mean, I like it, but it's not usually what I'm wanting to watch. People are like, oh, watch Titane. French film, that should have been my first red flag, because the French are so artsy. It's like barely a movie. There's nothing drives the plot forward. It's just bananas. Okay. So well, whatever. I'm like, yeah, it could be really great. People are saying it's like this amazing work of art in horror. It's barely horror. It's really not horror at all. And so that pisses me off. Okay. If it's a horror movie, make it scary, please. Okay. So, and also there are like, I like what the fuck moments, but not like this, where I'm just like, actually, literally, none of this makes sense. It does not seem like it's going anywhere. And like, okay. And it's all in French, so you have to read the subtitles, which usually I don't care about. But like after a while in this movie, it was everything. Just kind of compounded into like, this is a hassle for me to watch. Basically, this movie, because I don't think any of you are going to watch it, and I wouldn't recommend it. This woman, it opens, she's at a car show. She's like, ooh, I'm having a sexy time. Even though she's not traditionally like a long-haired, sexy woman. She's like, whatever that means. She doesn't fit the typical beauty standard at a car that I think of at a car show, like big, buxom, long-haired, whatever. She's like, her head's shaved and looks like a grunge punk. It's cool, right? And she's just like grinding up all in these cars. And then we see her in the next scene. She's like, looks like she's tied up in the seatbelts and she's having sex with the car somehow. Okay, and then the next shot is we see her on the couch. She has no underwear on and her butthole's leaking what looks like motor oil. So, what, so then you take that in. And listen, I'm not against buttholes or any of that. I'm not a prude. Okay, but it was more like, and what part of the car was doing that? Because it's not like she was up in the front seat. She was in the back seat. Like, it didn't make any sense. And I was just like, long story short, she goes on the run because she's killing people because whatever. I don't know. We would get no explanation on why she is killing people. She's just attacking men. Hey, good for her. But then she also kills women. So whatever. She's lost. All right. And so she's on the run. She shaves her head completely and she like puts a thing on. She breaks her nose. So she's really going incognito. She meets up with this guy who has lost his son. She's about the same age. He, in his grief, is like, you are my son. She's like, all right, yep. She just doesn't talk. She's just like, mm-hmm. And he's like, you've been through so much. Like, he doesn't try and get her to talk. And so she starts living with him and working in his like auto garage and blah, blah, blah. The movie culminates with her. We realize she's pregnant at a certain point. And you're like, okay, with the car baby or like, how? What does that mean? There's no other supernatural elements in this movie. They're like, again, there's no cohesive, nothing fits together at all. That's upsetting. So she starts giving birth and like the father knows now, and he's kind of known the whole time that this is not his son. Sad. But she starts giving birth and like her stomach's just splitting open. It's all metal on the inside. With one final push and just like shoots this metal thing out. And it's a baby that's like a hybrid. He's got like a metal spine sticking out of his skin, whatever. She dies. There's motor fucking oil every goddamn where. And this father guy then takes care of the baby and like lays on the bed with the baby and whatever. And that's it. That's the whole movie. You get no explanation on how, why, what. Not a single goddamn thing. There are some some moments in this movie that are so bizarre you do laugh out loud. Like, it's just like, there is a sense of humor to some of it, but most of it is dead serious. There's no soundtrack. There's this very incredibly sparse dialogue. It's so fucking weird. Don't fucking watch it. And if you do, I warned you. All right. Now we're going to go to one that I actually did like. but I also was so grossed out that I was like, I am not watching this again. And that's just me. Okay. The Ugly Stepsister. I'm so excited because like I really do like body horror. I think it's very fun. It's not for everyone. So The Ugly Stepsister came out last year maybe. And so it's basically the tale of Cinderella. So there's these two ugly ass stepsisters and this beautiful daughter whose dad dies, and like the stepmom with the sisters comes, and she's a fucking bitch, and so are the sisters. Although the sisters aren't like that awful, but long story short, one of them is competing with the Cinderella character. Don't remember her name in the movie because their names are, this is maybe like a Nordic retelling. Guys, I forget, but I just remember the main stepsister. Oh my God, what is her name? It's like a vocal stem in our house. Elvira. Elvira. They say it 100 times in that movie. That is the Ugly Stepsister's name. She's the main character, not the Cinderella girl, not the other stepsister. So she realizes that Cinderella is like beautiful, effortlessly talented. They're all competing, all these girls of the same age, to, of course, be wed and taken care of and whatever. In order to do that, you have to be the most beautiful and the thinnest and all that bullshit. So she ends up going through this very barbaric plastic surgery to like fix her nose. So then she's got this like weird ass nose cage on. It's upsetting to look at for 2/3 of the movie. And then she eats a tapeworm egg because she wants to be thin. Mind you, this girl in this movie is not overweight. Classic. It feels very 2000s diet culture. And because you see her full naked body, I'm like, that's a very normal, like thin-ish woman. I don't get it. It fucking makes me mad. She eats this egg, which to my husband was the grossest part. I'm like, what? Because what comes after is so gross. Then she eventually, her feet are too big. Duh. We knew it was going there. She cuts her feet off with a cleaver, and it is very graphic, and that was kind of fun. Now, the part I didn't like is that she's getting real sick. She's getting super sick. She's kind of like all the time, which is just like rough to watch. But then she starts gagging so much, like the tapeworm is trying to come out. All right. And it's just like on an important night for her too, which, hey, life do be like that sometimes. She leaves the ball. She goes in the fucking kitchen or whatever. Her sister comes in to check on her and she's just like a dog. And then her sister can see that there's the tapeworm in there. And so she starts pulling it. And the performance that Elvira gives in this is gut churning. You're watching this girl just like gag till her eyes are popping for, it feels like 25 minutes. Okay. And she's just pulling this black, like goopy, and you're hearing all that like it's just coming out of her. She's just like, and her eyes are popping, and her veins are popping, and she's like beet red, and her face is like swollen. Okay, it was really well done, but I had to kind of like look towards the bottom of the screen because I was like, this is so upsetting. Oh my God. Pulls the thing out. She fucking lives. Good for her. Women, the consummate survivor. Okay, she makes it. Then her fucking sister has to carry her fucked up ass out of there. The mom dies. She explodes. I don't remember what. She doesn't explode. I don't know what happened to her. I forget. So the other stepsister's like, I'm going to carry, because she doesn't have her toes. She's got nubs, right? So the poor other stepsister, who's just kind of bore witness to all of this madness, is like, well, here we go. Throws her on her shoulder, carries her down the steps, or throws her down. I don't really remember. And then they take off on horses. And I'm like, where is she going? She's suffering from severe malnutrition. I know she's dehydrated. She's got no feet. What are we doing? Do you know what I mean? And they're just going to go off into the woods to find another town. I don't know. To me, I put it on the worst, but like, maybe it's just an honorable mention of like, this movie was gross. And usually to me, that's good. And this time I was just like, yuck. So maybe go see that if you like that. It was worth mentioning. Now, this next one is maybe one that pissed me off more than Long Legs, just because people are always like, now this is a horror movie. So scary. Like, oh my God. I hated this movie so much. And I really am like, what is the disconnect? I feel unsafe in this world where people can like have such differing opinions from me. Guys, what the fuck? Sinister. To me, that movie is a pile of diarrhea. Okay? Now let me finish, because the premise is okay. I don't like Ethan Hawke. I don't like him. Okay? That's just me. That's not the problem. Okay? I like that he's wearing cardigans the whole time. That is fun. And I like the premise of going through old movies and videotapes. Like, that's always kind of scary. And you're like, whoop. And what he finds in the tapes are disturbing. And like the kind of his kids sleepwalking, like the kids are involved. That's always scary. He thinks he sees someone outside. Like the tension's building. You're creeped out. You're scared. But then when you, again, don't show me the villain. I don't want to see them. Really. I want to see hints of them. I want to see them shoot across the screen. I want a jump scare of a shadow. I don't want to see them. You never do it well. It's so hard what you come up with in your brain. We talked about this when I talked about Jaws. The reason why that movie works so well is you see so little of the shark. And that's the scariest part. Duh. So Insidious really fucks shit up. Showing the fucking guy. I don't care. The kids all doing this. Like, it's the most played out tropey trope. I hated it. I was like, oh my God, this movie is now ruined. And what can you do with that? So I was really pissed off because I had heard, so I was looking for a really good one this Halloween that I hadn't seen. And I was like, great, I can't wait to watch Sinister. And then I was so in, and then I was like, God bless it. This sucks. So that's it. Oh no, hold on, there's one more. One of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life, Halloween by Rob Zombie. I didn't finish it. I almost never, like, I always finish movies. Even if they're ass, I made it all the way through. Long Legs, Titane, Sinister, all of it. Trying to give it a chance. No. Okay, I didn't. I couldn't do it for this movie. Halloween, the first one, I think, because I think he made 3, by Rob Zombie, is such a pile of garbage. I almost don't want to talk about it. There's not much to say. It's bad. The acting's bad. His wife's the worst actress in the history of mankind. She should be banned from filmography. I'm sorry. It's just true. She's probably a great person. I don't ever want to see her on the screen again. That's just my opinion. Okay, sending that with love. Nothing wrong with her. She's just a bad actress to me. Thank you. Anyways, she's god awful. The dialogue's terrible. The little boy is like really overacting and not creepy at all. Okay, he looks like he plays Pokemon Go. There's not much else to say. It's shitty. It's a redo of a movie that didn't need to be redone. The other Halloween that was made by, don't even ask, I don't know, but it had Jamie Lee Curtis in it. They also did 3 more. Why? Don't know. But that first one, if you haven't seen this, it's Jamie Lee Curtis is now obviously older. She's in her 60s or whatever. And she's been spending her whole life training at the shooting range and like weaponizing her house and making sure that her daughter and her granddaughter are well aware that Michael Myers is out there and he's going to get their asses. So they have to be prepared. So she has like a panic room and all this stuff. It's a cool premise. I really like that. And it is scary. And it ends perfectly with him being killed. The end. Tie up in a nice little bow. It was great. I loved that movie. And then they went on to make 2 more where they're like, oh no, he survived this impossible situation, which just really drives me crazy. So that one was good. The one I'm talking about with Rob Zombie is awful. Okay, if there's one movie you don't watch from this list, let it be that. Go watch Titane before you watch Halloween, made by Rob Zombie. Okay, and I really hope that he still thinks fondly of me if he thinks of me at all, Rob Zombie. This gets out and gets to him. I do feel bad. But these are my opinions, and like I said, I'm just a girl. I'm just a, he can do what he wants. I'm sure he's having a great time. So I hope I don't hurt his feelings. But I will never watch another one of his movies again. Okay. Guys, that'll about do it for the horror movies. I feel really like there was a lot of rage that came through today, and I'm not really going to apologize for it, but I hope I didn't hurt any filmmakers' feelings. Anyways, well, I hope you tune in next week. Bye.